Hello, Tech Andrew 1 here, back with another video. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Lenovo Thinkpad Yoga 11E laptop. So recently, I've been looking to get a laptop that can perform the tasks I do on a daily basis, especially when I'm away from my desktop computer. But I didn't want to blow all my money for this specific laptop, so I looked around more. Initially, I thought this search would have taken a long time. However, I concluded my search early thanks to this specific laptop. With an average price tag of $300 US, this laptop honestly surprised me with many features and pretty good specs compared to other laptops in this range. Now, I'll be giving some background information and specs for this laptop, so if you're interested, you'll be able to research more on this laptop. So, first of all, I'll give the model number of the laptop in front of me. It's 20D90027 US, and as you can tell by the last two letters of this model number, this laptop was released in the North American market. Now, the name of this laptop, once again, is Lenovo Thinkpad Yoga 11E. Now, I've noticed that many sellers, especially on Amazon, they are confusing this specific laptop model with the Lenovo Thinkpad 11E instead of Thinkpad Yoga 11E. Now, they're almost the same except for one main thing. The Yoga 11E has a 360-degree hinge, which allows it to be used as a tablet, although it's a bit bulky and heavy. However, it's still usable, especially with the touchscreen and stuff. While the Thinkpad 11E does not have a 360-degree hinge, it has a normal laptop hinge that you'd find on most laptops these days. So I think you should be careful about this mix-up, and you can check with sellers whether they're selling you the Yoga model or the normal model of the Thinkpad 11E. Now, the Yoga 11E was released in September 2015, and now we'll talk about the internal parts of this laptop. Now, this laptop comes with an Intel Celeron N2940 quad-core processor with a clock speed of 1.83 GHz, or if we're considering Turbo Boost, which most Intel processors have these days, the clock speed would be 2.25 GHz instead of 1.83. This processor supports DDR3 1333 MHz RAM, and the maximum RAM this processor can handle is 8 gigs, which isn't that bad compared to my desktop computer, which has 8 gigs of RAM as well. Now, this laptop comes with 4 gigs of RAM. However, that isn't enough based on the tasks I'll be doing on this laptop. So I've decided to buy one stick of DDR3 low voltage RAM. It's 1600 megahertz, and it will work with this laptop. I've already done some research. However, I couldn't find that much information on how to disassemble this laptop, especially like the screws you're supposed to use. I'm assuming it's just gonna be Phillips screws. I have a bunch of different types of screws, screw drill bits or whatever. So I don't think that'll be a problem. Anyway, back to the specs. This laptop does not have any discrete graphics card, which at this range of laptops or price tag, I'm not that surprised. And to be more specific, this laptop has an integrated Intel HD graphics chip embedded in the processor, which is pretty standard in today's laptop tablet hybrid laptops. Now, this laptop surprisingly comes with a 120 gig SSD instead of a hard drive, which is again surprising at this price range. This laptop comes with a 11.6 high definition IPS display with a resolution of 1366 by 768. And I was pretty surprised to find out that this laptop at this price tag had the latest and greatest 802.11 dual band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.0. And it has the Intel dual band AC7260 Wi-Fi Bluetooth chip, which is pretty common. I also have a mini PCI version, so I've already seen reviews that Wi-Fi chip and or Bluetooth chip is pretty good. This laptop has a front-facing 720p HD webcam, pretty standard. This laptop has a full-size QWERTY keyboard, which is pretty surprising because most of these laptop tablet, sorry, I keep on butchering tablet for some reason. Anyway, this laptop tablet hybrid has a full-size QWERTY keyboard, which is pretty uncommon in today's laptops, as these laptops are pretty small and they don't have a lot of space for the keyboard. By full size, I don't mean like with the numeric pads. I don't really use a numeric pad. However, by full size, I mean it's big enough that you can actually type on it without mashing other keys while typing with a specific key. This laptop has a 4-cell battery, which is pretty good, and the rating, the wattage hour rating is 35 watt hours. Now, I was also pretty surprised at this price range to find out that it actually includes Windows 10 Pro and of course 64-bit. I haven't seen 32-bit computers in a really long time, so yeah. And to top it all off, this laptop has a standard 1-year warranty. So overall, this laptop has pretty good specs, especially considering the fact that it was only $300 US. Many laptops I've seen that have similar specs are much higher than this. So, in my opinion, I got a pretty good deal. So, the next thing we'll be doing is unboxing this laptop. So, I hope you'll stick around for that. As you may have already seen, the condition of the laptop's box isn't that good, especially with this big dent here. However, I don't think it'll be a big factor in the actual condition of the laptop itself. Now, the seller on Amazon described this laptop as brand new, never used, etc. So, yeah. So the label here says Thinkpad Yoga 11E, 2.29 kilos, gross weight. So there's this Thinkpad seal or Think seal. So I'll go ahead and cut that seal with my trusty box knife. And now we'll do the other side. Okay, this tape isn't that thick as other. So I'm slowly cutting this to prevent, cutting too deep and scratching whatever is right under here. There we go. Oh god. There we go. The plastic rip sound I was expecting is right in front of me is the open box. Okay, so this piece of paper, so this is like some sort of documentation, safety, warranty, and setup guide. I don't think I'll need this, so I'll set it aside. Inside, what else can we find? Well then, we do have some other stuff other than the laptop. So we have this AC. Oh, okay. It's stuck in there, so I'll have to get all of it out. Okay, so the box is completely empty, and we have the laptop and some other stuff under here, which I haven't really got to look at yet. So we have these cardboard pieces, and there's the laptop. Heavier than I expected, but not as heavy as some other laptops I've seen. I think I'll be able to use it as a tablet. So after I got all this, what was that? Anyway, after I got all of those cardboard pieces out, I will begin to unwind these ties, just get these things ready, and we'll continue from there. So now that I have all of that cardboard stuff away and that one piece of paper, aka documentation, now I can get to the good stuff. The converter, it plugs in directly to the laptop. I've never seen this before. A square jack. Well, I know it's better than a circle jack, because I used to have a laptop that had a circle jack, or at least I used to use a laptop, and that laptop's circle jack was prone to breaking, especially if someone tripped on them. So I guess this is more durable. Now, I've actually done a bit more research on this laptop, and I've found out the reason why it's not as common in the consumer, forums and stuff, in reviews, YouTube videos about this specific laptop. This is the 11E model that we're talking about, and the 11E apparently is meant for educational use. However, I don't think that will bother me. So let's start with the AC adapter, shall we? So there's this tie. These are not as bad as those. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about, but there's just some ties that need scissors. It's just a waste of time. No one wants to deal with them. Anyway, sorry about that. So wait, am I unwinding it the wrong way? Yep. Sorry. I just need to unwind this. And eventually it's free. And there's this plastic cover. I don't know why that's needed. Anyway, that's that. Thankfully, this has no tie. It just has Velcro, which is very useful because I hate it when AC adapters are cluttered and then they make knots. It's just annoying, you know. So I've done that. Now I can put this stuff aside. And now for the laptop itself. Now, one thing I did get in addition to the RAM is this handy dandy laptop bag. And I didn't quite know how big the bag should have been. I just did a rough estimate. Turns out that estimate was pretty good. So I'll put this laptop on top of this case, and I can get started on upgrading the RAM. And after I've upgraded the RAM, I can start this computer up for the first time. So I'll remove this security seal. I try not to break these, you know. I'm kind of obsessed with keeping things the way they used to be. So okay, oh god. You know what, I think this seal was meant to be, you know, broken, so to prevent any fraud, etc. Anyway, Due to that fact, I will remove this seal. I don't know, I just think it's better to do so now. So in the future, if I do have to package this, it just removes clutter inside. No one wants to be seeing a wrecked piece of plastic inside their laptop. So I'm almost done here. Just gotta remove the other portion of this huge security seal. Honestly, they could have just put a piece of tape that was hard to remove, so yeah. I don't think there's a reason they should have done this. Anyway, yeah, I don't think this will be coming off anytime soon, so screw it. We'll just continue on. At least I removed one half. I might get to the other half later, who knows. Anyway, I'll get that off later. So now I can take the laptop out without any interference, and there we go. Let me see here. This laptop has a USB 3 port, HDMI, a Kensington lock, some kind of, oh yeah, it's a power button, and nothing on the front as usual. There's a card reader. Ooh, an Ethernet port. I wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry about that. Then there's a headphone or microphone jack, and there's a powered USB 3 port right there. Yup, it's USB 3. So at this price, I didn't expect USB 3, but there we go. So as I expected, yes, this laptop uses Phillips screws, so I'll go ahead and get my screwdriver with detachable ends, as I call them. Oops, I dropped something. Oh yeah, spudger. I don't think I'll be using that today. Anyway, back to the laptop. So, this laptop has this shell at the back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. I don't think there's any hidden screws. Anyway, first of all, I don't want to strip any of the screws, so I'll be checking which end is going to work the best. Definitely not that one. How about this? No, definitely not. This one. I'm so scared that I'll slip a screw. Anyway, okay, I think I found a match. So, I'll remove these screws. Anyway, I'll be back once I remove these screws. I don't think it would be interesting to watch 6 screws being removed. So, I'll resume this video once I removed all the 6 screws. See you next scene. Okay, as you can see, I successfully removed the cover. It was somewhat easier than I expected. I thought it would have been a pain to remove the screws. Anyway, so as I can see, as the research suggested, 1 stick of 4 gigs of RAM, just as expected. The brand is Hynix, which I've heard of before. Apparently they're pretty cheap. So I'm just comparing size here, and it seems as if this RAM will be completely compatible. So this Hynix RAM module, 4 gigabytes, is low voltage, just like this one. So I'll go ahead and remove this slowly but carefully. There we go. So I'll remove this, and that can be set aside. I wonder where I can set it aside. Well, I'll have to set it aside over here for now. Okay, so I set the RAM aside. Now I can grab the 8 gig module. Okay, so it's Micron brand or Crucial brand. They're the same, basically. So, Crucial RAM, 8 gigs. Pretty good reviews. Got it on a discount. So, I'll insert the RAM just like I do many times. There we go. That was easy. So now, let's see this RAM module. So, not much to see on the other side. The pins look pretty good. I don't think I've damaged anything. So, I'll put this inside this case. And I could use it in the future, because why not? Instead of buying 4 gigs RAM, I could just use this one. Okay, so I've replaced the RAM with no problem. I got to see the parts inside this laptop, which aren't really explained, to be honest. So there's the wireless card, and as expected, it's the AC7260 in the N2 form factor. 1 screw. There's a little fan there, probably for the processor, I'm guessing. I think that's the 128 gig SSD. I'm not even gonna bother opening it up and seeing. That would probably void the warranty, to my knowledge. That's a huge lithium-ion battery. I'm not surprised about the size of that battery, to be honest. Cover is... I'm not sure whether the cover is metal or plastic. I'm assuming it's metal because it's just solid and, you know, hard, to be specific. So, one thing that I'd complain about is when you're putting the cover back in, it just feels weird. You have to like snap it on and then screw it on. But I forgot about this clip. There we go. So it has to be like firmly pushed down first, and then it has to be firmly pushed, like the vertical down. Sorry for being confusing there, but down and then down that way. So now I'm ready to put the screws back on. So apparently it's easier than expected to replace the RAM in this computer. Many laptops I have considered buying that are also convertible, they don't really have that many replacement options in terms of like the parts. If I find out that the 120 gig SSD in one laptop is too little, most of the time I'm screwed. Basically, I can't replace it easily. There are no screws basically. But with this laptop, although it's a bit heavy compared to other laptops that are small, it compensates with the ability to replace the wireless card, the RAM, the solid state drive, or you could even change it to a hard drive if you're that type of person. You can also clean the fan, which is pretty good, and you can even replace the battery, but I don't think anyone will be doing that for a while, as this laptop model is pretty new. So anyway, that wraps the RAM replacement up, and the next clip will be starting the computer up for the first time. No surprise there. So, see you then. So as you can see, I've opened the laptop up. It's better than expected. I thought the build quality would have been worse, but it's actually pretty good. The keys feel really solid. It almost feels like a budget mechanical keyboard, as I call them. There's a few stickers there, nothing too surprising. There's a touchscreen, Lenovo, Windows logo, Yoga 11E. Nothing too cool there. There's the touchpad, and as you can see, there's the webcam. Now, I'll also be getting a screen protector for this laptop. It was a bit difficult finding a good screen protector for this laptop. Now, I did eventually find a screen protector seller that sells a huge variety of screen protectors, and one of these models that they were selling screen protectors for was the Lenovo Yoga 11E, and I had a choice between a glossy, shiny, gorgeous like screen protector, or I could choose between an anti-glare matte screen protector. Now, I'm the type of person who hates fingerprints on the computer. Number one, glossy touchscreens are my worst enemy. Number two, one thing I like about this laptop is that the texture is matte, so it doesn't attract fingerprints, except for the screen, but that will be solved with the screen protector, as I already said. So, sorry to keep you waiting, but I think I'm ready to start the computer up. Now, in the beginning, you'll have to explore the laptop, as I call it, and you'll find out that the power button is this tiny rectangle sort of button, and I think it resembles kind of like the design of the new Nintendo 3DS, which I also possess. So here comes nothing. Well, it seems that the battery is not fully charged, so I'll get to that. So, I finally got the laptop plugged in. I have nothing else to say, so I will turn this computer on. There we go. Lenovo. Okay, your standard Windows 10 startup sequence. Well, so I can choose between English UK and English US. Well, I'll choose US. And what's your home country? Well, so after I finish this setup, I will do some tests, etc. But I don't think it would be fun to, you know, stick around and just look at me configuring all the Windows settings, etc. If you're really into that, just search it up. Windows 10 first time startup. Anyway, I'll see you later. So, after numerous preparations and installations, I have finally got everything in place.
I also installed CPU-Z, which allows me to view more specifications about the laptop and more specifically the accurate specifications of this laptop. So as we can see here, it's already open and we're on the CPU tab right now. The processor name, as advertised, is Intel Celeron N2940, and there's all this other information which I'm not really going to go over, but you can look at it if you want. There's the caches, mainboard, and then there's the RAM information. There's DDR3 RAM, 8 gigabytes, as expected, and just like I already mentioned, this computer only has one slot of memory, and I replaced the 4 gigs of memory already installed with 8 gigs. And the manufacturer is Micron, which is the manufacturer of Crucial memory. And of course, since it has no discrete graphics card, it uses the Celeron's Intel HD graphics. And of course, the clock speed is actually, it changes. Then there's this benchmark option, which I haven't really looked at. So I actually have done a benchmark using PC Mark 7, and the results are on Google Chrome. As you can see, this laptop has a score of 2,737, which in my opinion isn't that bad when compared to other laptops with similar specifications. As you can see, not much information was gathered by PC Mark. However, there was enough tests performed that we have a score. Now, obviously, this laptop isn't going to perform as well as my desktop computer. However, I have installed Microsoft Office, and I have found to be that there were no problems. I could write a Word document. Now, once in a while, there was a bit of lag, but that was actually when I was doing too many things on this laptop. However, that doesn't really bother me. So, I hope you enjoyed the overview and unboxing of the Lenovo Thinkpad Yoga 11E, and I hope to see you in the next video.